just to remind. Yeah, it takes them time. I'll talk about it in a minute. Okay. We'll wait another few minutes for the others to join us. Okay. שלומית, מישהי מהרכזות אמרה שתיכנס?
לא, אני אשלח להם הקלטה.
Okay. Some volunteers from England supposed to join us.
היי.
היי, חנה.
היי. אני מצטערת שאני אוכל להיות איתכם, אבל לא לכל הזמן.
אוקיי.
Hello.
Very cool. אנחנו נקליט ונשלח.
איזה קריאה שניהם? אני יכולה לקחת דווקא בכמה...
Helen, we can hear you. Could you please mute yourself? Helen, שומעים אותך. אפשר בבקשה לסגור, תודה.
אוקיי.
אני מציעה להתחיל.
אוקיי, So good morning, everybody. I'm happy to see you all here and appreciate those who continue from who agreed to continue, who were with us last year and are willing to go on with Start Talking. And welcome to the new ones. Just some to tell you some points about how it's going to work. We are we make connection with the schools. It takes time due to the corona. It takes more, and we are waiting for them to send to choose the children, the students who are who will be in the project. Each one of you will get the names by the coordinator, or maybe I will send it to you, the phone number, and then you will make you will be able to send them the link for the Zoom to decide upon the day and the time which that is convenient to you, and of course to the student. I wish you, I would like you to check whether the student is if it's okay with you to work with the kids. We heard last year that some of the kids were didn't have enough vocabulary. Their English was really poor and they couldn't cooperate. So please tell us. You can send a message by mail. You can write a WhatsApp to me, and we'll take care of it. You don't have to work with the kids if it doesn't work. And another thing is, if sometimes I would like to speak about problems according to what we got some feedback from you about kids who didn't attend the meeting, and also we can make changes. You don't have to agree to wait or to waste your time whenever the student does not attend the meeting. Another point is that we related to the wish of some of the volunteers to have more options, not only the cards. You got some of you who were last year got different cards, different topics to speak about. And we added some, Marsha will tell you later, she will show you the new material. I hope it will be interesting for you, some games, some new things. It will make it easier or more interesting for you and for the students. I think we got very good feedback from the school teachers at the end of last year, and that's why we decided to continue. They wish last year they expressed their wish to continue, so I hope we'll soon we'll get a list of names of the list of names of students, and they will start as soon as possible. If you have any questions about our connection we have at school, I wanted to say that at school, each school has a teacher who is responsible for a Start Talking project, and she's the one I am in. I talk to her, I speak to the teachers, so we can work quite well with them. So I'm waiting, and as soon as I can, I will send you or the coordinator. You will get the names of the kids in order to start. Anything else, if you would like to ask about the Start Talking, those who were not with us, please.
I have only one comment, may I?
Yes.
During last year, everything was very good. The children wanted to learn. The lessons were good, as long as they were at home. Once they went back to school and the lessons were in the afternoon, that was a little bit difficult for them. They came after school and then the lesson was occurred. So some of them went to the chugim, that, and this wasn't like the whole year. That was just before they went to the Chofesh Gadol, yes? So now, I don't know how it will be, because it will be in the afternoon for sure, because everyone is in class now. So the hours that we are giving them, they must really want it, you know?
I'd like to, Davida, I'd like to mention, first of all, my name is Marsha Chachmon. Most of you know me. I work with Yediid LeChinuch on the pedagogical aspects of this program. But I'd like just to answer to Davida that I completely agree with you that they really need to want to have this extra kind of help in their speaking. So the teachers in the schools need to make sure that the children that they choose are motivated and want to be part of this program. And that is the first condition that needs to be met. So when they're motivated and they see that it's helping them, then they'll be interested and they'll go. Many kids go to private lessons in Israel in the afternoon because their parents want them to do it or they want to do it and they do that. Here, this is a perfect, wonderful opportunity for free to get a high level of help, but we must make sure that these are kids that are motivated to do that. The other thing I just wanted to strengthen what Yael said is this program is about speaking and improving their speaking abilities. So clearly we want to make sure that these are children that have at least the basic level of being able to speak. And what we're doing is improving their ability to speak. There are other ways for other kids in the Israeli schools to learn how to read, to learn how to write, to get basic vocabulary and start saying sentences. This is not the program for them. This is a program for junior high school kids that are doing okay with their speaking, and we want to move them, to improve their ability to speak. That's the population we're working with. Yes, Ellen.
Yeah, I would like to make a comment. Last year, I worked with the school in Rehovot on Zoom during the lesson with the teacher. The teacher was also on Zoom. She opened another room, and I met 2 students at a time every 20 minutes. And we talked. The teacher gave me some subjects to bring up and to speak with them. And those who wanted to, join me. Some of them were shy at the beginning, and they improved slowly. No, we all make mistakes. I kept telling them we all make mistakes. That's what I'm here for, to help you. And then when I worked with 12th graders. They were just before Bagrut. And it was a wonderful experience because I am not an English teacher. I wasn't an English teacher. I was a physical education teacher, so I have no experience teaching English. But when they started getting vaccinated, the teacher asked me if I would come into the school, and I said, no, I didn't want, because there are lots of kids who did not get vaccinated. Anyway, I don't mind doing it this year in the afternoons if the kids are, as you said, committed. And even one girl went on shlichut. She was sent out of the country through the Jewish agency to do shnat shirut out of the country. And she sent me the questionnaire, and I went over it with her. She asked the teacher to ask me if I would be willing. I went over the questionnaire with her, and she succeeded. And she's now in California in a Jewish school with English, Spanish, her parents are from Argentina, and Hebrew. So she really lucked out, and we had a very good relationship. I met her 2 or 3 times on Zoom, and we went over the questionnaire. And those are the kind of students that, we in 12th grade, not junior high school. I'm not really interested in junior high school, but I'm sure we could adapt for me. So I think it's really important, and I really like doing it. It was very, very good for me to see that I could help students and move ahead. So
thank you.
Looking forward to continuing.
For sharing.
Thanks. I have a question relating to what Alan said. Is there anyone here who would like to help kids, students from the periphery, like we did last year? Some volunteers worked with children from Ofakim, and it was really wonderful.
Yeah,
is there anyone?
I'm ready for it. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
By the way, sorry for interrupting. Last year, my best experience was I spoke to a girl from Yudbet at preparation for the oral examinations in English, and it went on perfect. It was very good. We did it for about 2 months. And she was happy. She called me on time always, and we started talking. It was excellent. Yeah.
Great.
I would prefer such a thing rather than junior high school, which is I had experience in Ramle, which not so good. Was not good.
I think Yael and Shlomit, this is something you need to talk to together with the coordinators in the different cities. There are a few volunteers that would rather help the schools in high school as they prepare for the oral matriculation Bagrut exam, and maybe at least for those that really want that and did it before, maybe there's an option to include that. But obviously it's something you have to work out with the coordinators in schools, at least maybe in the schools that they were in last year. But again, that's Yael, Shlomit, and the coordinators. So can I begin, or is there anything else you want to say, Yael?
Can I ask one question? I'm unsure of the ages of the junior high and then the high school in Israel.
I'm going to explain all of that now. Now I'm going to try to give as much information as possible, especially for those that are new. And then there'll be time for questions and answers. Okay? And sharing as well.
Before you start, so except for Miel, is there anyone else who would like to work with the children? No.
Periphery. Esther said raise your hand.
I don't mind. My teaching experience in Israel, goodness me, it's almost 40 years ago, was in Kiryat Shmona. So I taught at 2 schools in Kiryat Shmona in the late 1970s.
It's relatively the same now. Not much has changed since the 1970s.
No.
They might have some computers. They might have a few computers in the school.
I know, but I don't mind working with the peripheryot.
Me neither. As long as it's on Zoom, it doesn't matter to me. It's not where I'm going to go into the classroom.
As long as
I was thinking the same thing. It really doesn't make a difference where area they live in because you're on Zoom.
Yes, but some volunteers wanted to meet in the Zoom students from their neighborhood, from their city, so that's why I'm asking. Okay, thank you.
Margalit raised her hand.
Yael, do you see me?
Yes.
Hi, good morning. Hi.
Hi. Sorry for being late. Okay. Anyways, I'm quite willing to work with the children from the periphery, no matter where, and there's no problem.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Margalit and Yael, can you just rename yourself? Yael, you as well. You have a phone number there, I think.
Okay.
If you take a look at where it says the mute button in the right top corner of your little box, you click on the 3 dots, you'll see it says rename. Please just write your name in English. Thank you.
I don't see the dots anyways.
Oh yeah, click on the right hand corner, you'll see 3 dots. And just click on those dots. And at the bottom of that, the right top corner.
No dots. Where are the dots? There.
See if I can do it. No, I can't do it for you. Okay, then let it be. Your name, Margalit. Okay. Most people probably can read Hebrew, hopefully. Okay, my name is Marsha Chachmon again. As I said before, I deal with the pedagogical aspects together with Yael and Shlomit of this program. Thank you all for being here. Just very quickly, my background, I was a teacher in Bat Yam, which is within this area. In a high school for 22 years. I was an inspector for the Ministry of Education, and I am a lecturer and pedagogical advisor at Topiot College of Education. I was also the same at Levinsky College of Education until I retired. So my background is completely pedagogically based. So, and I'm here for anything that you need help with. And I'm going to share my screen. Before I do so, what you'll see in the screen is a different way of, we've added a lot of things. The cards for those who have been with us before are there, the junior high school cards. If those that are going to be in high school, we'll be able to share the high school cards with them as well. They probably already have them, but we've added a lot more. And I'm going to first of all show you how to use what I'm sharing with you. And then we'll take a little look around. So let me just go to the top of this. There you go. Go to Hatzaga. Okay. So we've done things a little differently. We have, although you're going to be, we're going to be sending you by email, by WhatsApp, And also in the chat, Shlomit can also put it on the chat, so you can actually put it on your computer now. What's the slide that's the most important for you in this PowerPoint is the second slide, because everything you need is on the second slide. And what we've given you, first of all, are the cards that we had last year, which are I am, family, all of these different cards. And we'll take a look at them in a minute. They're who I am, family, hobbies, my favorite things, school, holidays and celebrations, animals, fun and laughter, important figures, all these 4 here at the top, and all of these on the left side in the first 2 rows. So there are a lot of cards that you can use that we prepared. So just to take a look at them, we'll take holidays and celebrations, for instance. These cards, all of these cards, are meant to be catalysts for conversation. It's not a speech that you have the question and they have the answer. The idea is to use some of these questions just to get the speaking beginning with your students. You don't have to use them. You can use any of them that you want. They're there as a help to you. So if we take a look at what I'm going to just show you, if I click on go back, it'll take me back to the second slide. Now, any of these that I want, all I do is need to put my mouse on whatever I want. I want to make my favorite things. I want them to talk about their favorite things. And I want to use these questions as a catalyst. All I need to do is click on it. Tell me about your favorite things. What is your favorite thing? And then you can start saying what you like. You can start having a conversation about your favorite things. But I completely, you just let the conversation flow as you want it. You can think of other questions you might have to ask. The whole idea is to have a free conversation with these cards. I wanted to do it, and with these cards just being there for a catalyst. You saw I clicked on go back, it brings me back to this page. Now, I think it's always good the first time you meet them to do the I am, who am I? A card just to get to know them. This is just to get to know them. Tell me about yourself. You also tell them about yourself. You have a conversation about what they like. What do they like in school? Just have a conversation about who they are, because that's a very important way to begin your relationship with them. They know that you want to know about them, and kids love to talk about themselves. So this is a perfect way to begin. So if you've noticed the cards that you have here, all of the first row, the second row, and the top row over here, all of those are very relevant topics for kids. Very relevant topics. Also travel and planning a trip, a tour in Israel, holidays, all of these are relevant topics. But we've decided beyond that, there are so many other things. So what we've been doing, as Yael said, after hearing that the cards were not enough and you wanted more material, we've added a lot more material. Again, you can always do what you want, but we've added a lot more material. So let's take a look at some of these materials. So we have speaking activities 1. Speaking activities 1, all kinds of activities for role playing, making believe that one's a celebrity and you're interviewing the celebrity, doing all kinds of dialogues, maybe having all kinds, expressing opinion, working on them on opinions, how to mingle, how to interview, all kinds of interesting activities. These are better for stronger students because those are higher level activities, either for high school or for very strong junior high school. Then we have speaking activities 2. you'll see that on these, you can't go back. It actually says it on the table of contents. All kinds of ideas of speaking activities to get them chatting. All kinds of nice, really interesting ideas. Journalists, mamash, debating. 1 second, not that. What's your secret? All kinds of fun activities. Following directions. Now, because you're going to be working either one-on-one or in groups of 2 to 3 students, some of these ideas work really well with a small group. So that's a really, there are a lot of nice ideas there. Then we have even more speaking ideas. These are all kinds of sites that you can share with them on Moodle, and not on Moodle, on Zoom, and use them, or you can learn from these different sites. All of them are hyperlinked, or at least almost all of them are hyperlinked, and you can go right to what you're interested in, what you think could be helpful for them. Really interesting things with pictures and materials. And this number 8 has 709 discussion topics with questions. You don't need the handouts, but you can get a lot of information from them. Lots of really good stuff here. In addition to that, if we take a look at the speaking games. Now, these speaking games were planned by 3 of my students in Talpiot for all levels. So if we take a look at the speaking games, and they're all a lot of fun, and they can almost, not all of them, but many of them can be done on Zoom, but we thought we'd show you all of them. There's lots and lots of games here. There's obviously a few that can't be done on Zoom because you need dice and things like that. But although there are ways to use dice online, but we're not going to do that. How do you use it? You put it in the presentation mode, which is that on the left side of your screen. If you're in Israel, and I guess it's on the right side of your screen. If you're in England, in Hebrew it says Atzaga. I guess in English it probably says presentation. You click on the presentation mode and look at all the games that are here. 27 games that were collected. And each of the games are explained how to use them. Not only do they explain how to use them, see if I can move this. It also returns you to the menu. So who's in your, where you can play games with them while they're on Zoom with you. So, yeah. Click on the box to reveal the question. And then you get extra points for saying why these are favorite. You're like, what are your top 5 books? Look at this, a really nice game. Who are your top 5 superheroes? Really nice games that the girls collected. And I'm, and so on and so forth.
Oh, hell. Oops.
And what's the film? What's wrong with the picture? Look at the pictures. Some things are not normal. You can find more images like this with things that are not normal. And then you start having a really interesting discussion about that. Trip to Mars. You'll live there for 5 years. You can take 5 people, who you'll take and why. Business challenges, just lots and lots and lots of ideas here. And most of them can be done on Zoom with your with the students. So that's another thing that we've added. I'll get back to start talking. So that's all of these I've just shown you, the 4 that are on the left side at the bottom. Now, as we said before, the 4 at the top on the right side are cards as well. We have travel, which is also a card. Just, excuse me, I'll go back to Atzagan. And planning a trip. And then there are Ministry of Education sites for speaking. The second site is a junior high school site. for speaking activities. The third site is a high school site. They also have other things that you can find. And if you want to find even more about speaking, you can go to Stay Up to Date. You write Stay Up to Date on Google. It'll take you to what's called Merchav Pedagogi, or the Ministry of Education portal. It'll take you to the Ministry of Education, which is the new place that the English Inspectorate site is here. And you go to the level that you want, either junior high school or high school. You click on this. You can learn more about the Israel, how we teach it in Israel. But if you click, you have social interaction right here, which will take you to loads and loads of material for teaching speaking. So here's another place. Just write Stay Up to Date. It'll take you to the portal. Click on junior high school, go to social interaction, and you'll have loads and loads of material.
You don't need a code for that?
No, this you don't need the code for.
Okay.
There are other things that you need. There are lesson plans that you need a code for, but not this material. Okay?
Good.
Loads of material. So all you need, Stay Up to Date. It just takes you directly to the portal and social interaction, and you're done. Then we have topics for speaking and English lessons. Lots of topics for speaking and English lessons. Loads of topics with questions beyond the ones that we have in the card. So that's another very nice idea. Its movie time is very nice, which is also a card. And there's actually sites. Yeah. All you need to do is for these is to go back. There's actually sites. Well, in the 4 sites here, there's one actually site with hundreds of ideas for speaking. So what we done, again, it's just so easy to use. First of all, you have all of these, which are hundreds and hundreds, because the ones with the speaking ideas and speaking activities and topics for speaking and English lessons are going to give you so many ideas that you can do with the students. And you have the cards, but you can also talk about anything you want to talk. And you have the ministry site, the portal, but you can talk about anything that you want to talk about. You can ask them, is there anything you want to talk about today? And start a conversation. Here and there, and this is some feedback we got from the volunteers last year, you feel the need to help them with their vocabulary or their grammar. So don't correct them while they're speaking, but write down some notes to yourself while they're speaking. And then either after about 5 or 10 minutes of speaking, maybe 10 minutes of speaking, so you can say, let's go over some of the words that we use today and that it's important to remember. And you can open up a Word document and share it on your screen, or if you're a little bit better with Zoom, you can open up a whiteboard. When you share the screen, you can click for a whiteboard and show it there and go over the vocabulary that you think is important and they use and maybe not have used correctly. You can also, if you like, if you decided on a specific topic, spend 2 to 3 minutes before you begin talking, going over some vocabulary so that they use it while speaking. If there's an issue with grammar that keeps coming up, the first way you should deal with correcting grammar is not by correcting them while they're speaking, but when you answer them to use it correctly. And then they're exposed to the correct format. If you see that they keep making that same grammar mistake, then you might want to take a few minutes at the end of your session with them and remind them what they've certainly have already learned in school. Remind them that in present simple, when you use he, she, or it, you add an S to the verb or something like that. Just remind them cognitively, sort of make sure and focus on something that's a mistake that keeps repeating itself. But in general, the idea of the way to correct is by when you answer them is to say it correctly. The idea is to have 1 to 3 students. The time allocation is usually about 15 minutes for each session. The idea as a volunteer is to give 45 minutes to an hour of your time a week. So that's at least 3 either groups of students or 3 Zoom sessions with students. Another thing that's very important to remember is that you want to be with these students at least 3 months. If after 3 months, you together with the teacher and your coordinator think it's time to change groups and give other kids the experience of learning from you, fine. If you together with the teacher and the coordinator think that, you know, things are really going well and you feel real comfortable with the group, and you feel like if you stop it, it's going to be a pity, you can go on. This is a decision you're going to make together with the teacher of the students and the coordinator. Clearly, these are only kids that are motivated, we said before. This is we call it, it's a zchut. It's a privilege for kids to get this from you, to have this opportunity. And kids that don't realize it's a privilege don't need to be with you. So only those, first of all, that come, that participate, that behave well, that don't make a joke out of the time they're with you, but take it seriously, will be with you. And if anybody is rude or not serious or doesn't come on time or one or any of the above, please tell your coordinator immediately so that others that could gain from what you have to give will be there instead of them. I think that it's very important to, again, we gave you a lot of ideas, but you're free to do what you feel is the best with a group of kids that you're with. You'll get to know them and you'll know what's the best. But the idea was to give you lots of options and lots of ideas. And then I would suggest you spend an hour or two going back to that second slide in the slideshow, clicking back and forth and taking a look and see what you like. See what you think is best for you. And we're here for you. Any questions? Barbara. You're muted, Barbara. You're muted.
Sorry, forgot. Last year I had 2 girls and I took them together. We spent a whole Zoom every week together on, so I didn't do 15 minutes each. It worked really well because to begin with, one was shyer than the other, and they built up a relationship themselves when they went back to school. Is that something that you're quite happy to do?
I think that if you together with a teacher think that that's the best idea for the children that she chooses or he chose, then that's fine. The idea is to try to get in 45 minutes to 2 to 3 students at least, or groups, maybe groups of 2 to 3 students. So whatever works best for you and them is fine. Now, in many cases, 45 minutes is a long time for some kids. So that's why we thought that 15 minutes of talking one-on-one or doing something with a small group was a good idea. But if something else works well and you and the teacher agree that that's a good idea, then that is absolutely fine.
Yeah, it did really work. It really worked well.
Very nice. Yeah. But yeah, so the options are open. We want to get to, in 45 minutes, to at least 3 kids. So if you work it out that way, it's fine.
No, well, I did two kids for 45 minutes.
Yeah, you'll see. Or you can also do 25 minutes, 20 minutes, or 25 and 25 minutes, 2 groups of 2 kids each. You can do all kinds of options like that.
Okay.
Any
Okay,
other questions?
thank you. I have,
Sorry, one question, other question. Are you continuing with the same children, or are you everyone getting new children?
Yeah,
I haven't heard, can you repeat your
Are
question,
you continuing with the same children? I don't think so. I think that you're gonna, when you're connected to the school and the teachers, you'll talk to them, you'll know who you get. They might, some of the teachers are deciding who the kids are. So they'll make the decision who, if you're continuing with someone or you're getting someone new.
Okay.
Okay, my request is, please, each one of you, I will ask you to send how many students you would like to work with, whether you want 1 at a time or 2. I have to know that in order to do the matches, or the coordinator will do that, but we should know how many students each of you will meet. And another thing is how many sessions would you like? 2, 3? It is also important for us to know. And one thing I forgot to tell you, please inform whenever you hear something problematic or something which makes you worried about the kids. During your discussions, you are asked to inform, to connect your coordinator, or you send WhatsApp or mail to me, and we know what to do with that. Okay, don't keep it for yourself. If you feel something is wrong, maybe something is wrong. So we have to talk about whether we have to do something about it or not. But it's important for us, for you to share the information. Thank you.
That's very important. This is something English teachers in the school know as well, that when kids start talking, especially when it's in a one-on-one, or they write when they know that only the teacher is going to be seeing it, they will open up and become trusting. They'll trust you and they'll open up. And often we find that they say things or write things when it's in writing that are like red lights of something's wrong, either suicidal thoughts or problems at home, like abuse and so on. And these are in Israel, I'm sure, and abroad in England as well, in the UK, that it's called chovat divuach. We're obligated to report it to the school and to the yoetzet and the principal so that they can help these children. So it's, if you feel you feel that there's some kind of problem, please tell Yael or your coordinator. Are there any questions for those that are new, or were we able to give you the information that you need? Jan, you had some,
yeah.
Were we able to answer you?
No,
Okay.
Just one I wanted to know about junior high and high. What are the ages?
Elementary schools until 6th grade, which is about 11, 12 years old. Then junior high schools, 7th grade is when they get their bar mitzvah, so it's 13. Junior high school, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, so it's 13 to 15. And then high school is 16 to 18. So it's 6, 3, 3, 6 elementary, 3 junior high school, 3 high school. We have a matriculation exam in Israel that they do in 11th and 12th grade, mainly in 12th grade, but some of them start in 11th grade. It's a modular bagrut, where they have level 3 learning points, 4 learning points, and 5 learning points to give weak pupils the possibility of getting a matriculation certificate, even though they're weak in English. So that they're the 3-pointers, and then we have 4-pointers, and we have 5-pointers, and 5-pointers the highest level. In order to go to be accepted in the university, you must have a matriculation exam, also in the colleges. So in the high school, everybody's working towards that matriculation exam. The junior high schools, they used to have a Meitzav. There is no Meitzav this year, which is a standardized test. There was a standardized test in 5th grade and in 8th grade that we don't have this year, I guess as a result of the corona. Something you don't need to worry about, which is good that you don't need to worry about that standardized test right now. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes, please.
Yes, Esther.
It's just basically this is very interesting and very helpful, but I'm new this year. I didn't do it last year. It's the first I'd heard about it from Rivki. So I'd like to have a conversation separately in terms of what Yael asked for, number of students, times, availability, etc. So Yael, תוכלי ליצור איתי קשר בבקשה?
בשמחה.
יופי.
Thank you, Esther. That's important. Another thing that for those who are new, if you need any kind of technical counseling guidance, Yediid לחינוך does have people that are very helpful and can meet with you on Zoom to show you how to use the Zoom in an effective way with the kids, how to share things, how to maybe even write on the whiteboard. So if you get in touch with either Yael or your coordinator, you can have a session with a tech person from Yediid לחינוך, which was very, very helpful last year for many people.
It was excellent.
Hannah.
Can I just say something? Those of us from London, if there are any new faces, we'd like to join you on our WhatsApp group. So
Jan is new.
Sorry?
Jan is new. You're from London, right, Jan?
Yeah.
Hi,
So
Jan.
Jan is new.
I think she's already in the group, in the WhatsApp group.
They have a separate British UK WhatsApp group, right?
Jen Howard, yeah, I've got you.
Anna, I'm also in London. Esther,
sorry.
I'm also in England.
You're not on
I'm
my
in
screen. Okay, do you want to give me your phone number? I tell you what, just send it to Rivki or
Rivki got my
got
number.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, Rivki
No
will
problem.
give it to me. All right, lovely. Where do you live, Esther? Where is she?
I'm here.
I'd like Yael, before you finish, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Hannah, because this whole British contingent, this whole British group began because Hannah and Rivki are cousins, right?
Right.
That's where it all started. It all started there, and Hannah, just took it over herself to initiate the volunteering group out of the UK. It all started with Hannah, and we thank you very much for everything that you've done.
It's a pleasure. It's actually my friend Kefi who knew the other girls. I just brought Gila and,
So it was the two of you, I suppose.
The students are lucky to have you.
Well,
it's a pleasure.
We'll be happy if we ever get to London, we'll hopefully be able to see all of you.
I'm in Israel now.
Okay.
I'm in Israel.
That's good.
Each one of you, we ask each one of you if you have relatives and friends would like to join us. You are most welcome. We're really waiting for them to join.
I think the final thing that I want to say, because I have a Zoom in a couple minutes, I just wanted to say, and I said this, I always say this every time we meet, we absolutely don't take it for granted that you're volunteering to help our students, both those who live in the UK and those that live in Israel. It's so much appreciated by everyone in the schools and in the educational system in Israel that you're doing this. I think that when they talk about Zionism, people talk about Zionism a lot. They don't do very much. That's really, in my opinion, Zionism. And spending this 45 minutes or an hour a week helping Israeli kids, that's the real Zionism. And thank you so much for doing that.
רן הצביע קודם, אני חושבת שיש לו שאלה, רן.
Where is Ron? He was here and he's gone.
Okay.
Maybe he just turned off his video.
Okay.
Maybe on the chat. So,
okay. So thank you all of you for being.
Shlomit will send you the PowerPoint, and the second slide is what's the most important for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Oops, a lot of people gone.